There are 3 books that the 2023 Best Jam candidate shared recently during an interview that helped her to achieve great feats academically and that completely changed her mind. And also, she shared how these books contributed to her becoming the best Jam student for 2023. And also, you will hear it from her mouth in this video. I'll also review these books that she shared and also show you guys how you can have access to these books at a lower price and how you can even have access to them for free or at no cost if you don't have the money to purchase these books. I've been longing to make this particular video for a while now, and there are 2 reasons why I've not made the video. And one of the reasons is that the first time I made the video, after recording a whole session of the video, I found out that the video, my voice did not record in the entire video. I shared it with you guys in my community post. The second reason why it took me a while to make the video is because most students think that self-development books have less to do with success, and when I do recommend some of these books to some of my friends, they are like, these books, are they gonna appear in my next exam? So they don't really tend to read these books when I give it to them, but they tend to forget that these books help you to build perseverance and grit. Because if you are studying maybe a professional course like medicine or pharmacy and the rest, you will find out that some of these courses require something greater than being smart. You find out that smartness will not be enough to give you good grades and help you to pass your exams. It has a lot to do with perseverance, grit and diligence. And if this is your first time watching my videos, I'm Raphael and currently a pharmacy student at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. And I know that some of you, especially those doing these professional courses, will say that they don't have enough time to study these books, or even students generally. Imagine a jam by, they will tell you that they don't even have time to study other books apart from physics, chemistry and all the rest books that they study. But in this video, I'll show you how I am able to consistently finish at least a book per month, even when I have exams in school. Now, these books are the books recommended by the best jam candidate for 2023 in the person of Kamsi Yochukwu Precious Ume. She read more of Ben Carson's books. Now, let's get started.
Okay, let me start with Dr. Ben Carson. Dr. Ben Carson is one of my role models, yes, because he, despite his background, despite where he came from, he has achieved so much. I think I've read all his books, Gifted Hands.
The first book she recommends is Gifted Hands. I think I read these books in 2018. It was recommended to me by a friend of mine. The book is basically an autobiography of Dr. Ben Carson, how he grew from a dumb kid to becoming a renowned world neurosurgeon despite his poor background and even not having a fatherly figure in his life. And the book will also show you how to not give up on your dreams, and we also remind you that everything that you dream is possible. One of the things that I love so much about the book is the balance that he provided between study and the God factor. He described in the book that at some point when he wasn't able to prepare well for his exam, he prayed, and it happened that everything he read came out. After reading this book back then in 2018, I decided I wanted to become a neurosurgeon. Then in 2018, if you are the kind of person that read this book, you know that this is the kind of book that sparks up interest in you and interest in this particular aspect of medicine. They even acted the book as a movie. You can go and check it out on Netflix. The second book she recommends is,
I think I've read all his books, Gifted Hands, Think Big.
Think Big is the second book she recommends in the video. I also read Think Big in 2018 because after I read the first book, if you check at the back of the book, you say other books written by the author. Because I've fallen in love with this particular man, I had to save up money to go and purchase the book. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the first book I ever bought as a teenager. So I wonder the price now, because then I bought it at the price of 700 naira. So the book doesn't just literally mean what the name is. It doesn't just mean think big literally. Like, the book also has to do with think big or achieving great feats, but the book is just an acronym. The Think Big as the title is just an acronym that stands for talent, hope, insight, nice, knowledge, books, in-depth learning, and God. The T in the acronym Think Big stands for talent or time. This is where he was talking about that we are all created with unique talent, that it's in all of us, that you just need to find yourself and discover yourself. And he went ahead to say that we must again learn to manage our time very well, because talent is not enough. You must learn to manage your time well. In H for the book, which stands for hope, he spoke about that we should always be optimistic about life, even in the presence of misfortunes, because all his life he encountered misfortunes and he was able to overcome this by being optimistic about life. Then the N in the acronym stands for nice. He advises everyone, even including students, to be nice with people, because you don't know what will happen tomorrow. Someone that you behaved or you regarded very low today might become someone that is very in a very great position tomorrow. So he advises us students should be nice to everyone they come across. The K in the acronym stands for knowledge, which was where he taught students to appreciate knowledge in general, that no knowledge is a waste. I think this was the place that he narrated the story of how he was accepted into Johns Hopkins Hospital, which is like the best hospital in the world, not just because of his good grades or his intelligence, but because he was knowledgeable in other areas of life like music. Because basically when he came for the interviewer was discussing about music, and he was able to key into the discussion, and at the end of the interview he was accepted as one of the intern. The B in the acronym stands for books. This is where he encourages students to study other books aside academics. I always scream this when I recommend books to these jammers or these aspirants. They are like, why would I read these books? Most times these books are very good. It helps to change your mind as a student and to help you to even dream bigger. And he recommends that you read other self-development books, that you should not only pay attention to your academics. I think that this is also where he shared about personalities in study, how he is a visual learner than an auditory learner. This was probably the first time I heard about this concept. I made a video about it earlier. You can go and check it out after this video. The I stands for in-depth learning. He wrote that we should try to deepen our knowledge in stuff, maybe in any particular field that we choose to study. He recommends that we become specialties in that particular field. In Nigerian context, I think that he's talking about going for your masters and even going for further study after you are done with your course, so that to deepen your knowledge, because the world is looking for specialties and not just looking for someone that has general knowledge. He recommends that you go for your specialty, because you will be paid more and your services will be required more if you have a specialty in a particular field. And the G, which is the last thing in the acronym, stands for God. I told you guys that this is a guy that balances study with God, and I learned it from him. So even though I study hard and I study smartly for my exams, I also pray. I also have this God factor that always helps me. So guys, don't neglect prayer. And he wrote in the book that you should not be too big for God. Always acknowledge God in all thy doings. As the book of Proverbs we always say, the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God. Then to the final book she read,
The Big Picture. I've read those 3 books, and then when I read those books I feel so inspired, and I'm like, okay, I want to be like this one.
The final book she recommends is The Big Picture, and this book was also written by Dr. Ben Carson. I think that I read this book in 2019, and if I can remember very well, The Big Picture is not really specific to only students. It's a multifaceted book that can help you to see the world through Ben Carson's perspectives about life, and how to view hardship as an advantage, how to know what really matters in life. But this last book is not really as interesting for me as the first 2 books that I discussed earlier. For some of you that are thinking of how you can combine your academics with studying or reading self-development books, I will discuss how I do mine. And how I do mine is very simple. How I do mine is just to listen to these books, especially the ones that have audiobooks. When I'm dressing for my lectures, as I'm walking to the lecture hall, and as I'm going back to my hostel. This allows me to focus more on things and to use my time and manage my time very well. So when I'm dressing up for lectures, I'll just play it through my phone and I'll be listening to it as I'm taking my bets. I'm listening to them as I'm going for lectures. I'm listening to them when I'm coming back from lecture hall. I'm listening to them. This method helps me a lot because most time during exam periods, I don't really have these times to start reading self-development books. So what I do is when I have free time, maybe when I'm walking to somewhere, I'll just listen to these self-development books. Because come to think of it, you can't be reading a self-development book when you still have lots of reading material to cover for your exam. Also, when I'm done with my exams, I also like to study more of these self-development books so that immediately school resumes, I will start applying everything I've read from these books while relating with my course mates. Because what's the essence of studying without applying? So during our break, I will study them. Then when we come back for the semester, I will start applying what I read in these books. Remember, I promised you guys earlier that I will show you how you can get access to these books. So basically, when I started reading books, mostly these self-development books, I started with these online books, the soft copy, and I will always go to PDF Drive to download some of these books. But recently I found out that it is easy to contact viruses from these particular sites, and they can easily hack your phone or your device. But now I won't advise that you go or use PDF Drive to get this book because you are at risk. And also, if you're the type of person that like hard copy or soft copy books, I will just advise that you go on Amazon and sign up for their free trial, 30 days free trial. Just click on the link in the video description to get access to these books through Amazon, or just sign up for their free trial. Another app that I also use for studying for these books for free is Scribd. I'll write the name in on this screen, and I signed up for the 30-day free trial and it has been helping me a lot. But the disadvantage of using this app is just that you might not be able to download the PDF to your phone, but you can be able to download the PDF in the app, but you will not be able to maybe have the hard copy. But if you really want to have the hard copy delivered for you at a very cheaper price, just check on Amazon, click on the video description. You will see I'll paste the link there. Just click on the link and you have easy access to the book. Also, if you are a JAM candidate that is preparing for your JAM exam, I discussed in this video how I was able to score 99 in my JAM chemistry. So go ahead and click on the video to see how I did it and how you can also do it.